Hi, so today we are here with ShaTerra Jenkins from Dayton Powdered Brows, located in Dayton, Ohio. She is a dear friend of mine, and I am so excited to have her here to talk about permanent makeup because there's so many questions out there about permanent makeup. I have questions, and I'm sure as listeners, you guys have questions too. So we're going to hopefully get those covered today. So welcome, ShaTerra. I'm so glad to have you.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Well, best as I can be. I'm so excited to be able to do something than just sit at home.
I know. This recording is being done during a time where we are all stuck at home and still trying to connect with our clients and trying to connect with other beauty industry people. So it's so great that we are able to connect and still have these conversations.
Yes,
Well,
definitely.
I wanted to know a little bit, let our listeners know a little bit about you and what you do.
Okay. Well, I am a makeup artist as well as a permanent makeup artist. I've been in the beauty industry for over 9 years now. I started out doing makeup, and about the last 2 years is when I started transitioning over into permanent makeup. So it's awesome. I do everything from aesthetic skincare, like mainly waxing, um, what else? Bridal makeup, um, brow and lash tinting, and then the permanent makeup services. So brows, lips, and eyeliner. So
Awesome. Now, I know from personal experience, you've done my makeup for photo shoots, and I've seen a lot of your bridal work, which if for those that don't know you, you've been doing makeup for many years, right?
yes.
Yeah, so you primarily started out doing makeup in that bridal industry, which you're so well known in the bridal industry. You're working with photographers and also local medias. So your work is out there for sure. Um, but when it comes to permanent makeup, what led you to switch over to doing some of the permanent makeup?
Clients actually, they always love my work, and they're just like, you pay so much attention to detail. I think you would be great at doing permanent makeup. They've been wanting it, and they're like, I don't trust anyone else but you. So if you do it, I'm there. So it was like a year of multiple clients saying that just out of nowhere. So I was like, okay, maybe I should look into this. And that's kind of how I got started. It wasn't anything that was on my radar or what I was thinking about at all. I really didn't, like you, I didn't really know it was a thing like that. Or if I did, I didn't know what it was called. So that's kind of how I got into it, started doing research, and then it went from there.
So for a permanent makeup person, for maybe some people don't know, but a permanent makeup person, do you have to be certified? Do you have to have some kind of training for this kind of thing?
Yes, you do have to do an initial training first with someone. I went to Dallas, Texas, and I trained there, starting out with microblading only, which I'll get into what the differences are. And then I just continued training from there. And then you also have to get a tattoo license because you are not I'm a esthetician also, but you can't just use that because those are totally two different fields. So I had to get a tattoo license and make sure that my studio space was inspected by the health department to be able to safely do the procedure.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's pretty intense, not just like a normal cosmetology license.
No, not at all. So people, if they're interested, they don't actually have to do, well, in some states, you don't have to be a cosmetologist or esthetician to do permanent makeup. Most states just require you to go through the health department.
Wow. Okay.
Mhm.
So you mentioned about microblading and there being different options. So what type, other than microblading, are there a variety of looks that somebody can do?
Yes. So microblading is what is most known and most popular. That's how it all started, which is more natural looking. It mimics like hair-like strokes, and it's done manually by hand with a hand tool that creates strokes into the skin to blend in with hair that you already have, or if you don't have hair, it just looks very soft and natural, but it doesn't last as long. It lasts about 12 to 18 months before you have to get like another touch up to make sure that you keep up the shape if you want to. And then there is also micro shading or ombre or powder brows, which is done with a tattoo machine. But it looks like more it lasts longer and it looks more defined. So if it's someone that wants like a very intense, dramatic Instagram type makeup brow look, ombre would probably be your best bet. If you still want to look natural, but something to last a little bit longer, then powder brows would be like a soft version of ombre. So, and then they last like 2 to 5 years, depending on the person's skin type, their lifestyle, and things of that nature. And then there's like a combo brow, which is microblading and shading mixed together. So it gives you still like an in-between look where you still get the definition, but the soft, natural side as well.
Wow. That those
Mhm.
are a lot of options.
I
Now,
know.
do you give consultations? Because I mean, I think if I looked on someone's website, I would be like, I don't even know which one is good for me.
Yes, I do consultation. So I do, it's included in the initial package, whichever one a person chooses. So if they don't know, I kind of help guide them to what I feel would be the best shape for them, or they can book a consultation before even booking the service if they just want to go over everything. If they're nervous and they want to ask questions and things of that nature, then they can book that separately too. So
Okay. Now, you said that it lasts, what was it, 2, 3 years or so? Now, do they have to do anything? Do they need to, can they come in for a touch up or do they have, like, does it totally go away?
no, it doesn't totally go away. So if someone decided they don't want to do any refreshing of the color after it fades a lot or dramatically, then they can just continue their life as is. It will lighten, it will become very faint, but it never fully goes away. So it kind of is frustrating when you hear people like other artists, they're like, it's semi-permanent. Like it's not, it's still a tattoo, but it just fades over time. And it can just be very minimal, just depending on like the lifestyle and how their skin takes it. But if you want to like have the color refresh, then that's what the like touch ups, they're called color boost sessions, like every few years that you would get
Okay.
to just help refresh it and help it stand out and bring life back to it again. But you don't have to do that. It's just recommended.
So how long does it normally take for a session? Like I can't even imagine, like, am I going to be spending all day doing this? Is it just like, are we done in a half an hour? Like, I have no idea like how long the whole process takes. So
Yeah.
can you let me know how long that is generally?
It takes about 2 to 3 hours depending on the artist. I like to block out 3 hours just so that I can take my time
Wow.
because you're on someone's face. So I don't want to rush that. And it's
Yeah.
not just me on the person the whole time. It's like
Okay.
the consultation, the color matching, answering questions, going over paperwork, then creating like the style look that they want, like brow mapping, and then actually getting into the service. So the service itself takes about an hour to an hour and a half, but then you have to go through the first part of it is like all the paperwork and numbing and everything like that. So
Wow. So, I mean, it's definitely something. Now, do you offer anything like like kind of like a preview of what it may look like before they actually commit to the actual permanent makeup?
Yes, so if someone decides that they're still kind of hesitant, then that's what the consultation, like they can book it separately. And I do like a little preview, like by hand, where I show them what I would think would look good. And then they get to wear it throughout the day, kind of like makeup, get to wear it, see how they feel, and then they can book the service after that and go for it from there so that it helps put them at ease and everything.
Oh, well, that's really comforting.
Yeah.
I was thinking, oh my gosh, like, do I get like a test run of this before I have to do this? Like, I feel, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I got commitment issues. So,
Yeah, I understand.
okay, so. All right, so you've got a consultation, you get a color boost. So all of this is great. Now, are there like what if you have your hair growth is fine, you don't have like thin brows or no brows, your hair growth is fine, you got thicker brows, but you want like some color. So what would you say for somebody who had like thicker brows but they just want more, like if they had brow powder on all the time?
Okay. I would recommend like an ombre or powder brow for someone like that, because microblading would just defeat the purpose if they already have the thickness that they want, but they want to maybe never fill in their brows. Like they're not good at that, and they just want to be able to wake up and go, or like put minimal makeup on around it. That's what I would recommend for someone with thicker brows, because you wouldn't be able to see the microblading. So
Yeah. Now you said that you offer some other services. So what other kind of makeup permanent services are there?
There's eyeliner and lips. So eyeliner would be like for someone that like same thing. They don't want to have to do that. Maybe they're tired of their makeup, like their eyeliner smudging. So that's why someone would get permanent eyeliner. And just to make life easier, then lips is for someone that has like maybe uneven lip tone or shade. They have some darkness, or their lips are very light and you can't really tell they have much there. So permanent lip is to help like define the lips a little bit more. It heals very soft and sheer, like a lip tint. So if they didn't want to wear lipstick, they would still be able to like put some lip gloss on or lip balm and go out the door. So those are the different services.
Are there candidates that aren't, or people? I say candidates because I'm an esthetician and that just seems normal.
Yeah.
But like for normal listeners, that we have some beauty pros that listen to this podcast, but we also have people that are no idea. So for some regular folks, are there people that don't meet like the criterias for it?
Yes. So if you are breastfeeding or pregnant, you're not able to get the service during that time, because it's not known if like it's a tattoo still. It's not known if like the pigments can get into your bloodstream and affect the baby, if you're breastfeeding or pregnant. Anyone that is on like Accutane or retinol, you have to be off of it for a certain amount of time, just so that since it is invasive, like the skin, you don't know how it's going to react. And Accutane is very harsh, so you don't want to disrupt that. What else? Oh, anyone that has like unregulated like medical issues would not be a good candidate, like unregulated diabetes or high blood pressure. If your doctor okays it and you have a doctor's note and they're saying that you are okay, you can get the service. Anyone that likes to be out in the sun a lot or work out a lot, if you can't take time to stop that for at least the first 2 weeks, you wouldn't be a good candidate. Oh my gosh, why am I having a brain fart? Let me, I have like everything on my website, and then you ask me, I'm like, oh my gosh, what? So let me
This is
pull
real
it
life,
up really
people.
quick.
Real life.
I have like this whole list of like candidacy information.
Yeah.
Um, sorry.
No,
Let me
no.
see.
Now, so while you're looking that up, do you also for those that can hyperpigment easily, like let's say for myself, I'm
Mhm.
Mexican, so I have the more olive tone and I do pigment easily, if I were to think about getting a service like this, whether I wanted to get a lip blush or, microblade or anything that I would be worried, like, am I going to hyperpigment? Is that something that you also educate other people about?
Yes, I do let them know if they are prone, then we could do like a patch test, like behind the ear, nothing that's like right out in the public. So I've had people also book consultations if they're like known for hypo or hyperpigmentation or keloid. They would come in and I would do a patch test behind the ear where I basically like use a microblade tool and scratch behind their ear and put a little pigment there to see how they do, and give about 24 to 48 hours to see if they have a reaction. And then if they don't, then they can book the service. Um, Now going back to who is not, now that my brain is good. So anyone that has like visible capillaries in the area that they want done, they would not be a good candidate. More so eyeliner would be like affected by that. If they have lash extensions on, they cannot get eyeliner until they're removed because you're not all up in the lash line, and that will be painful
Right.
to have done. If you're using a lash serum as well, just because it intensifies the growth and you have to put the serum on, it can affect the retention with eyeliner. If you're hemophiliac or have hepatitis, keloids, definitely, or any hypertrophic scarring, basically that's any like raised scarring for anyone that doesn't know what that is. Um, any active cold sores, more so for lips. If you are prone to cold sores, then you would just consult with your doctor to see if they can give you like a antiviral medication like Valtrex or something, so that you can take that a few days before, during, and prior to the service, so that you don't have an active breakout. If you have a pacemaker or problems healing, acneic skin or very oily skin. If someone has very oily skin, I recommend like full shading, because microblading isn't going to last, because it's less pigment and it doesn't go into the skin very well. It doesn't saturate very well. So someone with oily skin, you basically would look like you didn't have anything done.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah. If you're undergoing chemo or had any type of radiation or cancer, you have to wait at least 12 months for that, as well as with surgery, just for safety and precautions with your immune system. If you have a cold or flu, you want to wait until after to make sure that you're all healed and your immune system isn't compromised. So those are people that will not be good candidates for the service.
That is a really extensive list, but
Yeah.
thorough. And I think that's what, people don't realize is that, with something like this, that there are professionals like that out there that take this very seriously and are very thorough with their information that they're giving out as far as consultations, a preview of what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
I think that what sets professionals like you apart possibly from other places that may not be as detailed with their service process, to do such a intense service, because this is not something that you want to go into lightly. It's a big investment generally. I mean, what's the general range of investment for something like this?
It can be anywhere from $350 up to $500 average, but in some areas and also experience levels, it can be anywhere from like 500 to 1,000 for like a really good artist. So
And you
people
would
have
think
to.
you would spend something like that on, like, if you were getting like an artistic tattoo on, you
Mhm.
know, you would spend that kind of money for something like that, because it does require a lot of skill, a lot of talent to be able to do that, and understanding obviously the color palette as well, to make sure that we're choosing the right thing. Excuse me. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think that that is really important to know that you're able to provide such an awesome service to people. All right. So, oh my goodness, I got a tickle in my throat. Excuse me. Sorry, listeners. Um, all right. So, obviously, I'm a real person. This is not a highly produced podcast. This is like, you know, what I'm doing. I'm doing this and I love it. And okay. So, anyway, I digress. So, ShaTerra, if people want to connect with you, where can they find you? How can they connect with you and ask you more questions if they've got more questions about microblading?
Sure. Well, I have a website. So my website is www.daytonpowderbrows.com. That's Dayton. And then you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram under that handle, Dayton Powder Brows. And you can like ask any questions, connect with me, see my work, and things of that nature.
Awesome. Yeah, if you guys are interested in connecting with ShaTerra, definitely connect with her on her social. She's very active and easy to get. She'll get back with you and answer any of your questions. Thank you so much, ShaTerra, for joining me. It was so great to see your beautiful face. And for the listeners, we are doing this on video as well, so you can watch this podcast on my YouTube channel, which will be listed in the show notes, along with ShaTerra's contact information will be there as well. And she will be sharing some of her photos of before and after. So please do check it out. And anything else you would like to let people know before we say goodbye?
No, I just really appreciate you asking me to do this. This was very fun, even enlightening for myself. So I hope to do more of these, and I just had a good time doing this. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, ShaTerra.
All right, have a good day.
You too. Bye.